is a really controversial writer for Breitbart. He's hilarious. He's like an excellent troll level.
Masterful triggerer.
He's like a master triggerer. And so he's on this tour where he's going around to universities, really talking about the First Amendment and why it needs to be protected, and just triggering social justice warriors left and right. It is hilarious. So last night, he went to DePaul University, and once again, we are seeing how these schools are just backing down in the face of these violent protesters. And they're saying, oh, well, we need to protect their First Amendment right. So
they're enabling the everyone gets a medal society,
right,
which is these young kids that they've grown up, they've never lost anything because everybody gets a medal for everything. There's no losers. Everybody's a winner.
And we get everything done by yelling and pounding our fists.
Exactly.
And so the schools are just encouraging this type of action. And so last night, you can see some of the things that were done there. We'll play the video.
Yeah, they blew whistles. They grabbed the microphone out of the interviewer's hand. They threatened to punch Milo in the face. They screamed, "Feel the burn." They basically took over the stage, and Milo just kept his composure and stood there. And it's really interesting the way, these kids think this is a normal way to act. They think this is okay.
This is them exercising their First Amendment right to just forcibly shut down an event where these Republican students on campus paid a lot of money. They had to do a lot of activism for months to try and raise the funds to get the speakers there. And so this auditorium is filled with people who wanted to hear him speak. And so then you have this other group, they come, they rush the stage, threatening physical violence. Look she's in his face. That right there is threatening. And the other big issue is that the school, DePaul, they violated their contract just a few days beforehand, and they said, you know what, you need to get more security for this, and you have to pay for it. And Breitbart actually paid an extra $1,000 to get some more additional security. And then when the security was there, they were told to stand down and to allow the protesters to do their thing. And
because we don't want to hurt the precious snowflakes.
Yeah, we don't want to hurt the snowflakes. We don't want anything to happen. And meanwhile, they're threatening to punch him in the face and all of this stuff. And so now you can see that even the left establishment, this is coming out of HuffPost, right? The Huffington Post, they are even saying, wow, look at the monsters that we have created. We've been enabling these people. And this is someone saying out of the HuffPo, like, someone please introduce me to a good constitutional law professor because I'm really confused about the First Amendment. Until yesterday, I never realized that forcibly shutting down a private speaking event was considered free speech. I was also surprised to learn that assaulting a police officer is now a form of protest, and it certainly never occurred to me that making violent threats toward a speaker was a constitutionally protected right. So, in fact, I was pretty confident all of these things were highly illegal, but yet that's exactly what radical protesters did yesterday.
And the crowd, had enough, and after an extended period of time, they started chanting at the security, do your job, do your job. Hey, stop, we're having an event, a private event for our club or whatever they had over there. They invited Milo to come speak.
Right.
I used to go watch these people speak in college, different people come in, and I never saw people act this way. You might have people protesting out front, or right in front of the door, or handing out leaflets or something, or trying to engage people, but never to this degree. And
where they're actually threatening violence. We have Paul Joseph Watson article up where now there's even more kill Trump threats.
And that's okay.
Flooding Twitter before the Anaheim, the Anaheim event that's set to take place, where we've got guys on the ground there as well, and they're expecting riots. I mean, we saw what happened last night in Albuquerque, just insane mayhem, madness. And these are people, they're just exercising their First Amendment right. And that's something that people always argue on the other side. They say, well, it doesn't protect violent or hateful speech. And yet that's exactly what's happening here. And they're being protected. They're threatening to punch someone in the face and making violent threats, and yet they're protected. So it only protects
the speech that they feel is okay. If it's not okay speech, then we can't have it. It's hurtful. It scares me. And they base it goes back to their feelings. Has no basis in logic. And if you watch, there's a video, I think it's called Degenerate Protesters Curse at People Going into the Trump Rally. This is yesterday. And as these people are walking through, they have to walk through a gauntlet of people screaming and cursing at them. When the females walk by, they're like, you're a woman, how could you? I mean, these people are just such scum. Where do they come from?
Right.
And why do they think it's their place to go out and try to change or scream at people. It's the screaming
Where
at
are they
people
getting
constantly.
this little violent fascist Red Guard training? And that's what's so frightening.
Yeah.
And if I was a parent, I would rip my kids out of these universities because they're not being well prepared to get a job when they get out of school. And all these future employers are going to have to be dealing with this type of babyish behavior. For instance, check this out. Students are wanting to abolish midterms and any grades below a C.
That's right.
Because they said that they've been too busy with their political activism. They've been out too busy protesting that they haven't been able to study well. And so now they're making these demands saying, we demand you abolish the midterm and allow us to have a conversation with our teacher instead. I mean, what the hell? Like, this is what happens now. This is people can just come and make these demands and just completely restructure society and how it works. And these schools are encouraging it. The deans are like, you're right, I quit, I stepped down.
Yeah, they're totally kowtowing to these people. And it really is the mentality of everybody wins all the time. We can't have any losers. And it's a socialist mentality, really. This is what this is. And they've started this in grade school and in elementary school, and it just builds on up. And the kids expect it because this is how they've been treated their entire lives. And when you treat people like this,
spanked, everyone's a winner.
Yeah, exactly. And
and the thing totally too is like, imagine now they're doing this fight for 15. And so they're even now threatening to have these type of really exacerbated protests for this as well. But one robot costs $35,000, right? Yeah, that's kind of expensive. But to pay one person $15 an hour, 40 hours a week would cover the cost of that robot, who could replace every employee at McDonald's.
They're doing it at Wendy's
they're just they're like driving everything down into society. So
it's all right. This
you
is what
guys
they
are
want.
screwed.
This is what they want.
This is a lost generation.
This is what they want right here. They don't really work for a living. They want to scream and rant and think that's going to get their way. And I can't wait till they get out in the real world. People try to go get a job with their women's studies degrees or their fairness and everything act or whatever these people are into.
Well, and that's the thing is a lot of